In the heart of New York City, a young man found himself trapped in a downward spiral. Once full of ambition and dreams, he had lost everything. His once promising career had collapsed, leaving him jobless and drowning in debt. Bills piled up, creditors called incessantly, and to make matters worse, his wife had left him, taking their children with her. He had started his journey with confidence, never imagining that life would bring him to this point. Now standing on the Brooklyn Bridge, he stared down at the river below, contemplating an escape from the weight of his failures. As he stood there, lost in despair, an old man in tattered clothes approached him. The man looked like a homeless wanderer, yet there was something unusual about his presence. He had sharp eyes filled with wisdom and experience. He gently patted the young man on the back and asked, "Son, is something troubling you?" Startled, the young man turned, hesitant to share his pain with a stranger. "I don't even know you, sir. Please, just leave me alone," he muttered. But the old man persisted, his voice warm and understanding. "I can see you're in pain. Maybe I can help. Tell me what's wrong." The young man, overwhelmed with emotions, finally broke down. He poured out everything: his unemployment, his debts, his broken family, and his loss of hope. The old man listened patiently, nodding occasionally but never interrupting. Then after a moment of silence, he reached into his pocket and pulled out a checkbook. "My boy, if money is the root of your troubles, I can help," he said, scribbling something onto the check before signing it. "I was once one of the wealthiest men in the world. Perhaps I still am. Take this, withdraw as much as you need, and pay me back whenever you can." The young man looked at the check in disbelief. It was blank, signed by none other than one of the most famous billionaires in the world, a name he had only seen in business magazines. He was stunned, unable to process what had just happened. Before he could respond, the old man smiled, patted him on the shoulder, and walked away into the bustling streets of New York. Holding the check in his trembling hands, a spark of hope ignited within him. Maybe his life wasn't over. Maybe he could still turn things around. He folded the check carefully and put it in his wallet, deciding not to cash it immediately. Instead, he used this moment as a turning point. Determined to rebuild his life, he started applying for jobs. Days turned into weeks, and eventually he secured a position as an intern at a stock trading firm. It was a far cry from his previous ambitions, but he embraced the opportunity. He worked tirelessly, absorbing knowledge like a sponge. His passion reignited, and with every passing day, he regained his confidence. Over the next few months, he climbed the corporate ladder. His dedication and analytical skills caught the attention of senior executives, and he was promoted to a junior trader position. He spent endless nights studying market trends, honing his skills, and making bold but calculated investment decisions. His efforts paid off, his trading portfolio grew, and soon he became one of the top performers in the company. 2 years later, he had transformed his life. From a man who had once stood on the edge of despair, he had now become a successful stock market expert, earning millions through strategic investments. His financial troubles were long gone, his confidence was unshakable, and even his family had returned, proud of the man he had become. One day, while cleaning his desk, he found the check again. The same blank check, untouched, still tucked safely in his wallet. Overcome with gratitude, he decided to find the old man and return it, along with his heartfelt thanks. He returned to the Brooklyn Bridge and the nearby streets, hoping to spot the kind stranger who had changed his life. After hours of searching, he saw a large building that looked like a shelter or care home. Following his intuition, he stepped inside and inquired about the old man. The receptionist chuckled softly and said, "Oh, him. Yes, we know him well. He's been here for years. You see, he's not really a billionaire. He just believes he is. He hands out blank checks to people as if he's a great philanthropist, but those checks are worthless." The young man stood frozen in shock. He couldn't believe it. The check, the very thing that had reignited his hope, had never been real. And yet it had changed his life. At that moment, he realized the profound truth behind his journey. It wasn't the check that had saved him. It was the belief it had inspired in him. The moment he held that check, he had regained something far more valuable than money: his confidence and determination. His circumstances hadn't changed overnight, but his mindset had, and that was what had made all the difference. Walking out of the shelter, he smiled to himself, holding the check one last time before carefully placing it back in his wallet. It was no longer a financial safety net, but a symbol of the power of faith and resilience. This story serves as a powerful reminder that in life, we will all face failures, challenges, and moments of despair. But often, what we truly need is not external help, but a shift in mindset. Hope, belief, and the willingness to try again can turn even the darkest times into opportunities for growth. No billionaire had saved him. He had saved himself.